Welcome back. My name is Taisha. I've been on Zepbound for 67 weeks and things are still going really well. So, a quick recap if you're new. I started off at 2.5 milligrams, stayed on that for 4 weeks, was titrated up to 5 milligrams, and I've not gone higher than that. That's my dose. That's the magic dose for me. So, things, I did a couple of months ago attempt, with the direction of my provider at that time to go down to 2.5. And the issues that I had could have been coincidental, but they were things that I didn't experience before. So that is why I attribute it to going down in the dose. So once I went back up to 5, things have been normal. Now, if you're weight focused, I started at 183 pounds. My highest weight is 216. So I started at 183. I currently fluctuate between 127 and 128, and I'm in a good space. I have gotten to a point, and I got to that pretty early on, where focusing on the number on the scale wasn't my main priority. My thing was body composition, like not wanting to lose a bunch of muscle or any more muscle. I lost quite a bit in the beginning. And that is why I tell you that it's very important to make sure that you're eating enough. So I'm going to go over really quickly the things that that I'm doing to maintain, because I'm telling you, there is a life after the weight loss process. You get into maintenance, and that is, I wanna say, I'm not feeling like it's super difficult because the habits that I've established are sustainable for me, but if you are someone that is going at, 500 miles per hour right now, if you don't plan on continuing, I would dial it back. I am a vegan, I eat a whole food plant-based diet. That is the way that I eat. It makes me feel good. It's efficient, and I consider myself a healthy vegan now because I absolutely was not before. And to give you an example, Oreos are vegan, but are they necessarily good for you? Probably not. And eating a whole family pack in a sitting regularly is also not good for you. So I try to prioritize, you know, eating cleaner, and I'm not against anything. There are no bad foods. There are just certain things that I don't have a desire to eat it. So I don't want to kind of get myself back to the way that I was before. So I have an Instagram page and I post every single thing that I eat on there. You can also see in the stories, that is where I tell you what's in it. So for example, if I have a salad, I'll take a picture, right? At the end of the day, I have a collage of all the meals that I've had for that day. But in the stories, it'll be like, "Oh, this is a salad. This is a butter leaf blend with, guacamole, tomatoes, sunflower seed." Like, that's where I tell you all of that. So if you're interested in it, you can see that. I no longer do macros and the amounts, and I don't put that stuff out there, and I'm not actively tracking that. And the reason why is, for over a year, I was diligently tracking everything, so I don't feel like it's necessary anymore. So if you're really curious about that, I encourage you to just go back farther, because that de- those that data is there. So I don't want to be overly repetitive, and I don't have the desire to track in that way anymore. So part of this is, I'm sharing my journey, trying to be helpful. But I have to make sure that I keep this in a way where I can continue to do it. And so, things will transform over time. So that's enough about that. As far as my preferred activity, I enjoy strength training. Now, the current program that I'm doing is by Lift with C, and I want to say it's number 12, and I'll post that up, but it's number 12, and I'm going to be doing that for a total of 6 weeks. So today is Sunday, June 1st. So tomorrow I'll be going into my 4th week of this program, and it's the same exact workout. So I've been doing the same workout 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I can feel the progress, right? I don't have any lofty goals of trying to bulk up, or I'm just moving in a way that makes me feel good and feel strong. And strength training for me has been that. I also walk every single day for 30 minutes, which started at the beginning of this year, and I've just kept it going. And a couple of months ago, I incorporated the use of a weighted vest. So it's just 10 pounds, nothing crazy. And yes, I could go heavier, but that is not the point of that. So something that I've had a history of doing is overdoing it, doing too much to where it's not sustainable, right? Because my focus used to always be on the end goal. Like, what's the fastest way to get there? And I want you to know that that is not sustainable. I also want you to know that when we first get started, it's a little bit difficult because a lot of us have had these unhealthy habits for a long time, and it doesn't just go away just like that. And you'll start off with motivation, right? If you're led and motivated by the number on the scale going down, I need you to know that you're going to have to also find another metric, something else, because you're going to get to a point, call it a stall or whatever people want to call it. You're going to get to a point where the weight is not moving quickly. You may not see a lot. There could be weeks going by without you seeing a significant amount of movement. And so you need something else to hold on to. So if you can get a DEXA scan, or even if you have a scale at home that gives you your body composition, I would focus more on that than the actual number, because there have been different times where I've been the same weight for, let's say, 7 weeks. But then I saw when I had a scan done, a DEXA scan, that I gained muscle and lost fat. So, yeah, on the scale, on the surface, it looks the same, but it's not. So that's why I encourage you to find another metric. I also want you to focus on how you feel, right? If you're eating certain foods and they're causing, GI issues, stop eating them. It's that simple. Don't find a way to accommodate it, right? Let me give you an example of that. If if you're lactose intolerant, yeah, you could take Lactaid, or you could just stop consuming dairy. Do you know what I mean? And then you don't have to add that extra step. So if you know something makes you uncomfortable, don't eat it. I think it's very important to make sure you're well hydrated. I will tell you all the time, drink water. If you're not a big water drinker, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Just try to incorporate more. And again, you don't have to go from 0 to a gallon overnight, and there's nothing that says you have to have a gallon. Now, since we're talking about it, I do drink a gallon of water a day, but I don't drink anything else outside of orange juice, about an ounce of orange juice, and that's what I put a scoop of creatine in, okay? And I take that every day, just 1 scoop, and I've been doing that since December. I have videos about that, so if you're curious, not specifically about creatine, but why I started. And I encourage you, if you're new or even if you've been here for a while, go back and check out some of those older videos. There are over a year's worth of of content, and I started putting these videos on YouTube 4 weeks into my journey. So this is week 67, so there should be 63 weeks of update videos that you can check out. Okay, now let's get back to the strength training. I am not lifting in a way, again, to be bulky. I just want to stay toned. And that's what's important to me. My end goal is to kind of, how you can flex and kind of see your muscles. My goal is to not even have to flex and you can kind of see them. So it's going to take a while to get there, but I'm okay with that. Something else that's pretty cool to mention. As far as DEXA scans go, in January of 2024, I had one done. And I'm guessing right now, but this is going to be pretty close. You'll get the point when I get to the end of it. Let's say my body fat percentage was 36% or 37%. In March, after I had lost quite a bit of muscle, my body fat percentage was 39%. It's currently, or the last time I had a scan done, it's 22%. But what I'm saying to you is focus on your body composition, right? Because if you lose a lot of muscle, yeah, you could lose some fat. That changes things. So it's more than about the number on the scale. So that's why I'm no longer motivated by that. It's the composition. So, all right, I went over how I eat, where you can find that. It's the strength training. I've got 3 more weeks of this particular program, and it's gonna be finishing right up before I go on a cruise. So, if you're familiar with the downsize, they have a cruise coming up. It's the end of June, and I'll be going to that. So, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do after that. That may be a week where I'm just going with the flow. But something that I will continue even while I'm on the cruise is, going to their gym, doing some weights, and I will be continuing with my daily walks. Now, I don't plan to pack and take my um, weighted vest with me. So my walks will be without that. So I range from 3.0 miles per hour to 4. Lately, it's been 3, and that's because I've been procrastinating and doing my workouts pretty late. Now, I wanna tell you something else that was pretty I was it's a proud moment for me. So on today is Sunday. On Friday night, I did not feel like working out or walking. So I told myself, "Okay, you could do your walk, right? And then you could do 5 minutes of your workout." So I did the walk, and then I went down and I was like, "I could do 5 minutes today, and then I could just, do the whole thing on Saturday." So I'm like actively working through this and I'm talking to myself out loud, right? I was like, "Okay, you could do 5 minutes, or you know what? We could just do it on Saturday." And I'm like, "Okay, no, no, no. Let's do the 5 minutes." So I got started and I was like, I may as well just keep going because I'm gonna have to do all of this again tomorrow. I may as well do it now. And I was able to push through. But I'm telling you, sometimes, even though I enjoy this, I go through these mental gymnastics as well. And that's why it's so important for you to find something that you actually enjoy. Something else that I wanna bring up. This does not have to be like, get out of this whole like discipline and I'm gonna beat myself up if I don't do it. And if you want it bad enough, you push through. Okay, that doesn't serve any of us well. And I don't believe that this process should be something that is, that you're dreading. You shouldn't have to dread this. And the medication should make this space for you to be able to focus on what you need to do. The elimination of food noise for me is the most impactful. As far as things that I can just see that I noticed right away. I don't feel anything. So when I give myself the injection, it's not like, when I was on Vyvanse and I would take that and maybe 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's kicking in. There's nothing like that, at least for me. I just take the injection. And for me, day one is just as effective as I take my injections on Sundays and it lasts Sunday to Sunday. There's nothing where day 4, day 5, I'm starting to get hungry, but I make sure even when I'm not hungry, I am in the process of editing this video. So this is editing Thai. Instead of using the word hunger, I should say desire to eat, right? Because a hunger is more of a physical thing. So I have not had the desire to eat. All right, continue. And so sometimes it does take me a little bit longer to finish my food. So I'm not scarfing everything down in 5 minutes. Now, it's not taking me hours to eat it, but I want you to know that I am intentional. I am determined to make sure that I'm getting enough because I don't really want to lose. I don't want to lose any weight, right? My goal is to actually build some more muscle. So at some point, the scale will go up, but I just wanted to let you know that those are my particular goals. And I plan on staying on 5 milligrams as long as it's working for me, which it is. And I'm taking it once a week. I have no desire to mess around with the dose, extend it out more time, even if I was someone paying out of pocket. So I have TRICARE. I am a vet, and so it's covered. I have a $24 copay. If TRICARE ever dropped the coverage, I would absolutely pay out of pocket. I would more than likely switch to vials. Now, when we get to a point where, the actual pens are less than $1,200, $1,300, that'll be a different story for another day. But for right now, the plan is just to, stay on my current regimen, which is 5 milligrams once a week. Now, something else I wanted to let you know about. When I initially started this, I was using a telehealth service, a telehealth company, and it was PlushCare. About a month ago, month and a half ago, I saw my primary care doctor. And because I've been on this medication for over a year and she's been aware of it, I asked her to take over managing my prescription. So now instead of seeing her once a year, I'll see her twice a year. So if you are someone where maybe your doctor wasn't on board and you've used another source to get the medication, I think it's very important to be transparent with your doctor and maybe revisit, after you've been on, if they were like against it, maybe revisit and see if they'll be willing to take over your prescription. It doesn't hurt to try. So that's it about that. As far as content, so I do these weekly updates every Sunday. Every Monday, I do a live stream, and that's for everybody, right? It is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's GLP-1 mindset focused. Every day, I do a series called The Daily Dose of Mindset, and those videos are anywhere from, they're just a couple of minutes, and it's just about giving us a different perspective, right? There are things that we struggle with that we don't really talk about a lot. And they're just these little mindset shifts. So a lot of times it's, 3 tips. It'll vary 3 to 5. And they're just shifts that will help you out. And I just focus on one topic. So it's not these long drawn out things with 52 steps and 10 ways to do this. It's it's just simple. And I enjoy doing them. So they're every weekday morning, they'll be available by 6 a.m. And then on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, they're available at 10 a.m. And there's a whole playlist of lots of those videos. Okay. The last thing, on Thursdays, I do a special members only live stream. And as back to members, right? I have 2 levels for the membership: Charming Caterpillars and Blossoming Butterflies. So, this series that I'm doing for the Blossoming Butterflies is an 8-week program called Simply Beyond the Scale. And we just did our first one on Thursday. So, every week on Thursday, we'll be doing those. So, if you're interested in that, join. And check it out. If you don't like it, you can cancel your membership. It's totally okay. I need you to know that this process you have to go into this being intentional, not looking for the quickest way out, not looking for the magic site for your injection. Just make this a lifestyle change. Go into this with, what are the steps that I can take that I can maintain to have the best results on this medication, right? That's a way to look at it, not where can I inject for the fastest weight loss? Your process is your process. It's not going to go it's not going to go the same as someone else. These are these are tailored for us. So I need you to know that. You can watch a lot of content, but don't just consume it, right? Take the things that you're learning and put them into practice. And as long as you do that, I feel like you will be very successful. So don't forget about the live stream tomorrow at 7. I'd love to see you there. I do make it to where if you want to comment, you would have had to have been subscribed for an hour. And this just I don't have issues, or I haven't had any issues with spammers or people getting on just to say rude things, because most people are not going to want to sit around for an hour just to wait to do that. So that is the reason that I do that. I want to leave you with this. We can share our journeys, but we should never compare them. Have a great day. Bye.